Welcome to another episode of All Myths Are True here on Game Nights. I am your host and your game master, Savvy. That's Savvy Seaworth, and we're here to play Tales from the Loop. But before we do that, I have a couple of announcements for everybody. First up, we have our regularly scheduled stuff coming up this week on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. We will have a brand new episode of Saturday Night's Thunderball, where we play D&D, but also it's sports, and all of us are there, as well as a couple of our other friends, Jake and Juliet. So come hang out with us 3 p.m. on Saturday. On Sunday, we will have a new episode of The Pursuit of the Black Kestrel, our I just almost said Pathfinder. It's not Pathfinder now. Formerly Pathfinder, now D&D 5e mini campaign that is very quickly coming to its end. Sean runs that. It's at 4 p.m. on Sunday, so come hang out then. On Tuesday, we will have a new episode of Eos, our newest D&D 5e campaign that Barry runs for us. Some of us play in that as well. Me and Sean and Alex with our other friend David. So that's at 7 p.m. Everything's at different times now. 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday. Come hang out for that. We're getting into all kinds of shenanigans, and it's been really fun. And then we have a exciting announcement. We have on Thursday, a week from today, the session 0, which we're going to stream, of the brand new show that we are adding to the channel. The full title of which is Elegant Suffering, the Good Society Tale of Tonsham upon West Forthpag. We are going to be playing Good Society, the Jane Austen RPG. I'm going to be there. Alex is going to be there. Sean's going to be there. And RJ of Pursuit of the Black Kestrel fame will be there. And our friend Sid, who you all know from Slaying 101, is going to run it. It's going to be really fun. If you're not familiar with Good Society, it is a collaborative storytelling game in the theme style of our good friend of Pride and Prejudice and all those other great books and movies that we love, Jane Austen. So it's going to be really fun. It's going to be on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to stream our session 0. We're going to talk about our characters. We're going to talk about this wonderful town that we've created. And we'll be sort of fleshing out and doing other stuff so we can start telling the story. So join us for that. And that's going to be happening, obviously, on off Thursdays from this show. And yeah, that's our next week. Really excited about it. Is there anything else that's happening this week that I should know about? Okay, great. Cool. Yeah, I think that's it for scheduling stuff. So yeah, coming out with us all of those times that I just said. And if you didn't write them down for the quiz, if you're watching this live on Twitch, our whole schedule is below. You can find that on our Twitch page if you're not, as well as on Twitter and our Discord. So yeah. But for now, we're gonna play Tales from the Loop. It's been a minute because there's been some illness and stuff going around, but we're back. I'm glad to be back. And so let's put on, let's do this one for right now for a little recap. So where last we left off, our wonderful kids here were in the middle of a mystery involving some birds. All around town, all around Fountain City, the birds have been acting strangely. Some of them very hostile and attacking on sight. Some of them scaring a lot of the farm animals and livestock that are sort of around on the outskirts of town on Danny's family's property, and some of them talking to you and trying to be your friend so you'll bring them food. So we've learned a lot about birds in the last few days for these kids. In over the course of your investigation, a couple of you met another kid who is sort of in the middle of all this by the name of Stacy, whose uncle may or may not be involved. A couple of you found the carcass of an old magnetrine ship sort of crashed on the outside of town with a lot of weird things in it, not limited to birds with microchips in their heads, but also a very strange machine in the cockpit that may have something to do with what's going on. You spent some time at the library doing some research. You found a strange rock with some strange unclassified mineral ore in it. And you currently are trying to figure out what exactly to do next. But it's going to have to be put on hold because it is Tuesday, September 3rd, 1985, the first day of 7th grade. So you all get up in the morning and head to... How does everyone arrive at school?
Well, we're kids on bikes, so do we have to be on bikes?
You can be on bikes. I don't know if anybody's mom takes them to school. Mike, I think you were planning on riding with Ruby.
Yeah, rocking out with the cool kid.
Yeah, how young can you drive in Alabama at that time? Can you drive as young as 15? Would my sister have a car yet?
It's less about it's less about it could. You could definitely have a permit, which you're technically supposed to only drive with an adult in the car. That being said, it's 1985. People did things. So she would probably be allowed to sort of drive, the mile or two that it is over to the high school.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, probably sisters begrudgingly giving Axel a ride. She wants to be like, oh, look at me, I got a cool car. I'm, the cool kid now. And then there's my younger brother.
Okay. So Axel being driven, Mike being driven.
Danny's probably riding with some of her older brothers.
Okay.
At least 2 of them are still in school.
Okay. And Mel, your mom is a teacher, yes?
Yeah, so I probably am just riding with her.
So you've probably been there.
Yeah.
Early.
I've probably been there since like 6 o'clock.
Okay. So you all roll up to school at various times. Ruby and Mike probably the last to arrive, sort of pulling into the drive and off into the parking lot, where all of you sort of get out and stare up at the front of Louisa May Alcott High School, getting ready for your first day. Let's see. A couple of you told me there were things that you want to do. Some of you are trying out for sports, yes?
Yeah.
So we're going to say that's happening this afternoon. Is there anything during the day anybody wants to get up to? First day of school is generally pretty chill.
You mentioned trying out for sports. This is 7th grade, so is everything like, is this if we were on something in 6th grade, does that carry over? Like if Mel was on the track team or the cross country team in 6th grade, would he continue to be so the next year,
No.
or would there be tryouts for it again?
No, so this would be the point in
Also,
which
my
they
high
would
school didn't have tryouts for cross country, so I didn't know if this high school did.
Oh, mine did.
I don't know,
I'm gonna
American
say
school.
yes. Yeah, so this is the point in which they would be encouraging you, Mel, and everyone else on the team to then try out for the junior varsity teams of the various sports that you were a part of. So, let's see. That's happening. Mike is just trying out for 5 million different things, probably. He told me a couple.
I don't know what sports you have. I've never done American Schoolies. I'm like, let's just try
Football,
and be
American
that kid which
football,
is good at everything.
soccer, baseball, basketball, track.
Do you know those annoying kids which are just good at everything they try? Let's try and do that.
Okay. I'm gonna have to
Like you have way too much talent.
roll for some stuff. And then there's also a bunch of clubs and things like that that are starting to get their signups going. So we know about the AV club. There is a drama club. There's a choir, probably. Anything that strikes anybody's interest.
I think Axel is gonna try out for band, probably with delusions of being able to, learn guitar or something, but probably get stuck with a woodwind of some sort.
Okay. I'm gonna have you guys roll to try out for things.
Okay.
Not so you'll just completely fail and not get to do them,
Mm-hmm.
but to see how good you do and how big of a part of your life they're about to become. But I don't know. All right, you guys tell me, because there's a bunch of skills in here. Axel, what would you use to try out for band?
I should probably open the things for what the different skills do, because it's been a month since we've played this game.
Yeah, we don't remember how to play this game, everybody.
Um,
So we're starting
Thinking
slow.
that Axel tries out for band, but then realizes he actually wanted to be in jazz band if he wants to play guitar.
Mm,
so,
Oops.
maybe in that case, comprehend, have the right piece of information, or be able to find it.
sure.
Okay, and then you do have to manually clear conditions. Sleeping it off isn't gonna do it, because I still have angry from last time.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Although I do need to remember to refresh my luck points. But okay, let's go ahead and roll an angry comprehend.
Angry friend.
No successes, unsurprisingly.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say so. You show up for the band try. I guess they're auditions. If you're in band, they put you with a bunch of different instruments. I think you sort of find out along the way that the jazz band is something that is, if you wanted to play guitar or something like that, is something separate. It's going to form later in the year from within the actual band. So that's how it happened when I was in jazz band, so that's what I'm doing. But so there will be a second audition for that at some point. But generally people are invited to audition for that one, so it's hard to say. So yeah, no guitar. So you get stuck with, what do you want to be stuck with?
Debating between either flute or tuba.
Oh man, those are both really good.
Let's do a D2. One
Okay.
for flute, 2 for tuba.
Tuba!
All right, so
Tuba.
you end up in the band on that deep brass line. So yeah, you will be playing the tuba. The school has instruments at this point, I think, that you can borrow. Some of the kids, especially the older kids, they didn't have their own. But for especially the sort of 7th and 8th grade level, there are instruments you can use. Congratulations. You now play the tuba in the school band.
Womp womp.
This is a great start. This is not to disrespect people who play the tuba. They're an integral part of the band. But it's not what Axel wanted. The drama's begun. All right. Mel,
Yes.
you're going to go for cross country.
Yeah. Like I said, I think Mel did cross country last year. Is going to try to get on the team again this year.
Okay. Mike, do you also show up to try out for cross country?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
Is cross
Mel-
country? Do you know what cross country is? Is that a thing in Australia?
Long running.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
It's kind of in the name.
It's how we travel. I mean,
They just run everywhere.
so, do I also try to become a cheerleader? These are the questions I'm dealing with.
We'll get to that in a minute. So it's in the afternoon, sort of after the first day of school, which I think, unless there's anything sort of specific kind of trouble you guys want to get into at school, was relatively easy. Probably a little nerve-wracking and kind of stressful.
I guess one question I had is, are there enough kids that were split up among different homerooms, or are we all in the same homeroom?
Does everybody have last names for their character?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Rough phone.
Yes.
Axel and Mel, you're... I'm gonna say Axel and Mel end up in the same homeroom, and Mike and Danny end up in the same homeroom.
Okay.
So Danny got to call home room.
Look at me.
So you guys see each other that morning.
I don't know what homeroom is. I never had that in my school.
I'm assuming it's where you go before classes at the start of the day.
I mean, it varies
Yes.
state to state. Like here, it's, you know, you're basically with your homeroom all day, just going to the different classes.
Hmm.
Compared to
Oh.
where I grew up, it was, you know, you had mostly the same kids, but then you could start splitting off depending on, you know, what track you were on or electives.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say it works how my school worked because that's what I know, and I
Mhm.
won't forget it if I try to do something different. So essentially, your homeroom is going to be like it's like a pre-class class. So like it's where you would go sort of before first period in the morning, right before
Okay.
school starts. You would spend like 10 or 15 minutes in there. Any kind of like that's where you would get like attendance taken and everything for the first time that
Okay.
day.
Like announcements
Um,
and stuff like that.
Yeah, for that.
Okay.
And then any kind of like school-wide business. So like anytime there's like events. So like when homecoming comes around and you're like voting for like homecoming court and stuff like that, you would do that in homeroom. Just stuff like that. So every morning before school, you'll be in those. And then after that, you might end up having some. You guys probably end up having a lot of classes together. So there's only so many combinations of classes you can take when you're in 7th grade. There's like math, like science. It's not super complex yet. But so yeah, I'll say Axel and Mel, you see each other that morning in homeroom.
Mhm.
If there's any shenanigans you want to get up to.
I don't think Mel's really one for shenanigans. He sits exactly in the center of the classroom to like blend in as much as possible and doesn't really talk to anyone.
I imagine with an A last name, Axel is probably in the front row, and you know is. Now I have to make the choice: is he a good student or not? Because I think for this, he's not trying to be a bad boy or anything, certainly. So it's just like he's there.
Okay. As most 12-year-olds are.
Mm-hmm.
They're there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It would probably
so-
be mostly like if you saw when Mel saw Axel, or it'd probably just be like kind of like a head nod and kind of like a sup, and that would basically be it.
All right. Mike. Yeah. So Mike and Danny. Same thing. Do you guys have the same homeroom? Do you get up to any shenanigans?
So, I'm
Hmm.
not.
No. You being a good student?
Mike's not a bad kid. He just doesn't understand stuff.
Is he actively trying to make friends with new kids?
He will try and suss out who is generally on the cool scale. Who seems to be the popular kids.
Okay.
Okay.
Who does he need to take the top rung off? I'm gonna run this school by the end of this year.
I'm
Who
gonna
is
have
my
you roll
nemesis?
something.
I would have got
figure
the
out.
lowdown from looting. Okay. What's the guy?
I'm
Might
just
be
gonna.
a contact roll.
Well, I don't even know if any of the skills apply. Hang on, let me look at your.
Contact is not my good one.
I'm just gonna have you roll heart.
Hard.
Mm. Do I think you have a 5 in heart?
Yeah.
So many.
I only use a life point because why not?
Okay.
Guess what?
2
Whoa.
successes. Here we go. Walk in. Be like little theme music for him is playing. What song? I'm not saying yet. Rock You Like a Hurricane. That was his song.
All right.
So yeah, Rock You Like a Hurricane is just sort of playing in the back of your mind as you sort of scan around the room. I think even like first day, like even like the first few minutes, I think based on like the way people are behaving, it's pretty easy to kind of pick out the couple of people that are at least part of your homeroom that people sort of are gravitating toward, and I think you can kind of extend that out over the day, like through your classes, kind of.
Gotta get the little hair flick in when he walks into a room initially. Chewy, leather jacket. Even though it's hot, he's gotta look good.
Of course. All right.
But
So
he
yeah.
will acknowledge Danny.
Okay. Because yeah, she maybe tries to maybe introduce you to some of the kids who might not have been there at the party. Like trying to see if she'd pick up on you sussing out these people. Probably not. Not yet.
And I think
Also gotta
Danny's
try and
kind
find
of.
that one person that's good at schoolwork to try and cover me because I suck at it.
It's your
Oh.
cousin.
Someone
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's.
Turns
yeah, I know, but I
out.
haven't been the nicest person to him.
Yeah, I think. Well, you had 2 successes, so I'll say the other one can be spent over the course of the day, especially like in your math class, being like, "Who's the nerd with the nice one?" Yeah, I think you can pick out a couple of people that we can flesh them out over time. Be thinking about them, those NPCs that you would like. All right.
I can just add to my list.
So, the day goes on. It's fairly uneventful. First day of all of these classes is, generally like overview of the class. You don't end up with any sort of massive homework. You end up with some forms to take home to your parents to sign saying that you've, read them and you're gonna participate in class and grading scales and all of that stuff. Remember when syllabi were for your parents and not for you? Good times. But yeah, you sort of make it to that afternoon. Mel, you sort of head out to the nearby track, sort of up toward the athletic complex, which you are now very familiar with, and prepare yourself for tryouts. You do see, sort of coming up the last minute, your cousin, Mike.
I ignore him the best I can.
Okay.
Can you ignore someone who's not in proper track running outfit?
I can try. You do not know the depths of my ability to ignore things. Mel's been doing this his whole life.
Ignoring things or track?
Ignoring things.
Also been doing track for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think there's a couple people you recognize, obviously like people that were on the team with you before that are here and have been encouraged to try out as well. And then some kids that are a couple years older, that are a few years older than you, sort of crying out for that varsity competition team. Mel, when it is time for your group to sort of come up for tryouts from the the side of the field, they have open tryouts. There have been some people kind of milling around watching. Mel, you see a group of girls that you met earlier in the day. And Mike, you see them too. So when you step up, you hear from the sidelines, "Good luck, Mel!" And you see 3 older girls standing over there around 16. These are your friends that you met earlier who've been following you around most of the day. Sandra, Kelly, and Amy, who have just come from the field from varsity cheerleading tryouts.
Okay.
Mike's gonna put his arm on Mel's shoulder and be like, "What is going on here?"
Mel gives a very forced smile and kind of like awkwardly like waves back and then kind of turns back to continue to stretch as Mike comes over. What are you doing?
You have
Why are you touching me?
friends?
Yeah, they've sort of, I don't know. They won't leave me alone.
They probably know you're my cousin. Sorry about that.
I don't think that's it, but okay.
So what? We just run here? Is that what the goal is?
Yeah, you run. Why are you here? Do you actually know what we're doing here?
Running.
Okay. You should probably stretch and
I'm good.
okay.
I stretched yesterday.
Mel's like sliding away from Mike, like
Mike has
just
changed his outfit. He's still in jeans and stuff like
yeah.
He's not prepared.
And Mel's just like looking at him, just like, whatever you say. Good luck. And
You
like
say-
starts to slide away and then realizes he's going like closer to where like the bleachers are and then kind of like slides back and realizes he's stuck in like a really awkward spot between Mike, who he doesn't want to be around, and the 3 girls that he doesn't know why they want to be around him so much.
Okay.
And all he wants to do is be left alone.
I'm gonna have you both roll to move. So move plus body.
Okay. I am injured still, and I think like as Mel is like also stretching, like
your
the ankle that he tweaked yesterday, just kind of like bothers him a bit. But
Mike really only did this because Mel's here. He just wants to be like, "Hey, friend."
I'm gonna use a luck
Okay.
because I rolled very badly. 3 successes. I rolled much better on the second one.
3.
3 successes.
Which of the 2 girls are you impressing?
To be honest, my relationship with Mike right now is Mike is a jerk. I want to show him he's wrong about me, and that's what I'm interpreting this as.
Okay. So you want to, let's see.
So basically, I'm. Oh wait, is there a thing?
Yeah.
I guess
there's-
I'm-
So there's give a success to another kid, which I'm assuming you don't want to do.
No.
You can impress someone or no one notices you. So you have 2 extras. So
Okay. I will impress Mike. And no one notices me, 2 of the girls. Want to stand out as little as possible.
Except
But not
the
to
coach.
Mike, except to Mike.
What about the coach? The guy who picks his
I assume they're
opponents?
taking track of this. I just like
they're watching.
Mel's not trying to like be the fastest. He's not trying to like impress too much. He just wants to do well enough to get on the team, so he can keep running.
All right. So we'll mix those 2 together. And we'll say Sandra, who's like the ringleader of the 3 girls who have been sort of following you around trying to adopt you all day, gets distracted and is not paying attention.
And that was
but
mostly
yeah,
a joke. It's more narratively interesting if they keep stalking me, but I mostly
Well,
just don't want to like
There's
make
3
a
of them.
big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, so you Mel, you do extraordinarily well. Mike, you do pretty
I
good.
succeeded.
Yeah. You got 1 success, so yeah, you do well. You do well against most of the field, but Mel blows you away.
This is my warm up. I'm here to support my cousin.
But you can both be on the team if you so choose.
I mean, Mel's going to be on the team, but he's really hoping that Mike will get into something else and not be on this team.
Is there something else you want to try out for, Mike? And then
An actual sporting thing. Not athletes. No offense to athletes who choose athletics over actual sport. With physical contact. Football!
okay,
Not soccer, because that's not.
there is also a soccer team.
Yeah, no, I want. Let's play your American football. What
Do you-
position is the number 1 spot?
Do
I
you
know the
know
rough-
do you know enough about American football to tell me what kind of position you would go out for?
All the movies I see with high schoolers, the quarterback's the number 1 kid in the school. I'm going that route.
So here we go. Now
Has Mike ever thrown a
Sean?
football before?
Haven't, but can't be
Sean?
that hard.
Yeah.
if you were gonna try out for quarterback, would you
Okay.
roll move or force?
Probably move.
Move.
Because yeah, I mean, I can't think of a
Balancing
reason
and
why you would.
running and-
Yeah, force would be more like a lineman or like
Yeah,
a
that's what I was
outside tackle or something. I wouldn't do like.
See, some of us do watch sports. Internet. I'm kidding. I also kind of want. Listen, if you're gonna try out for quarterback, you're gonna have to make 2 rolls.
Okay. Is it one to get everyone to try and protect me? Because
Nope,
can I just do everybody likes me to be like, hey, look, I'm super cool, protect me.
No, one is for your physical movement, and then one is going to be for your general field comprehension and ability to call plays.
Yeah,
Because you gotta do.
So wait,
It is the
what's
most, like,
what's the
intellectual
second row going
position.
to be?
I'm going to say comprehend.
Ah,
That being said, if you do good on move, could get another position. So roll move, and then roll comprehend.
oh, you know that everybody likes me. Works for comprehend. Can I check my pride for comprehend? 'Cause that's a
Explain.
one die roll.
Explain.
Someone will give us a tip of like, we're gonna do this, and this way everyone's gonna run. Someone else calls the play, and I just react to it. They make the decision of what's best. Because I'm new to this game, and this is a tryout. I can learn it later. but I'm Australian. I've never done this before. I just want to throw a ball at someone and be the number one kid in school. Okay.
So a shadow quarterback.
Permanent
Someone
wildcat.
else just makes a decision. Don't they have like the professionals have like the little offensive coach telling them
Okay.
plays and
You're
someone
12.
else is- yeah. So someone else tells me on the field, be like, we're doing this.
You still have to make the decision of who to throw the ball to.
Oh yeah, that's easy.
It's not easy.
Let's
I'll-
try
okay.
the move roll
Make-
first.
Make the rolls, and I'll think about whether or not I buy that.
Let's try the move roll first.
Okay.
Okay. Why couldn't it be fours? Because that would have been 9 dice.
Play
Go out
defense
for
then.
linebacker.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 successes.
Okay. Yes.
And now
so
for the comprehend.
if you roll a success on this, I'm quitting this game forever. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, my god, I got a success.
Oh my god.
I'm a natural at this.
How did this
Oh, yeah.
happen? Okay.
Mm.
Holy shit.
And I impress everyone. I'm gonna
Yeah, I bet.
impress. I'm gonna impress Mel with this. That's what I'm doing my second move for.
Is
Impress
not
Mel.
there. Is
Is
not
Mike
there.
a football protege?
God.
Yeah, Mike's a natural at everything.
This
He's
is what
that
just
kind
happened.
of kid.
This
with
makes
so
me mad
much.
for Mel.
Okay. Yeah, I think it actually, like, at first glance, obviously, like, there are a lot of rules, there's a lot going on the field, but like running some basic drills and then just some like basic plays with some of the varsity teams sort of helping you out and everything, sort of seeing what everybody is capable of. Yeah, Mike, I think you find football to actually be pretty intuitive. You're fast enough for it, for sure, and I think at the end of it, the coach is sort of pretty impressed with your decision-making skills as well. So yeah, you are, because don't forget, we're in Alabama in the South. You are offered a position on the team. The JV team is 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. There's one 9th grade student that is playing quarterback, and you'll essentially be second string. But you'll definitely get to play, and you'll technically be a quarterback.
Sign me up. I'll just go do better than the 9th grade person when I get a chance, and then they sit out for the rest of the year. I don't know how it works with that bit.
Now Mike's on the football team.
Does this mean I get a jacket with like
A Letterman
Fancy
jacket?
jacket.
That's varsity.
Didn't you say that's what I was in, but the junior version, so they're not capital letters, they're lowercase?
Yeah, you get a Letterman jacket, but they're all lowercase letters.
Yes!
Fine. You know what?
Hey.
You can spend one of your successes for a lowercase Letterman jacket.
Silver lining, he won't be able to be on the cross country team if he's on the football
No,
team.
can't do
So
both.
I'm very excited
That
about
was
that.
my warm up.
But you can't play baseball.
Did Danny and Alex come to watch the tryouts, or did they just leave after school?
Yeah, what are you guys? Are you guys trying out for anything else? Because Axel was doing band auditions.
Yeah.
There's also lots of clubs.
Danny should become a cheerleader to find out what those 3 stalkers want with Mel.
Cheerleading, drama club, choir, chess club.
I'm waiting to let Morgan go because she hasn't gotten to do
Oh,
anything yet.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I have no idea. I feel like maybe softball, but that's like in the spring.
They train in the fall though.
Yeah.
So, softball tryouts?
Sure.
Okay, I like
Let's try
it.
a sport.
Let's do a sport. Ooh, now softball. It's gonna be either move or force.
Yeah, I was gonna say move makes sense.
Move.
Yeah.
Let's have you roll for move. So yeah, you roll
Okay.
up, on the to the nearby baseball field where they've sort of reconfigured the bases a little bit to be softball field size.
Yeah, because I think she wants to do softball because her brother was like on baseball,
Yeah.
so she knows a little bit.
Okay.
All right, let's see.
Yeah. Let's roll move. This is
2 successes.
okay. So that's a success. Give a success to another kid doesn't really apply. You can impress someone, or no one notices you. One of those is a little counterintuitive.
A little bit. Press somebody. Who can she press?
Is this on at the same time as all the other tryouts? Or do we, as a
Pretty-
group, get a chance to watch everyone?
Yeah, because I feel like Danny would want to see like be there to cheer all the other people trying
Yeah,
out
yeah,
for
I
the
think we
things that you can.
I think they're sort of staggered a little bit. So yeah, your friends are there. I
That'd be
assume. I don't
supporting
know what Mel's
everyone.
doing, but
Mel just doesn't support me.
Oh man.
I don't know. Unless Mel got like ganged up on by the 3 girls afterwards, he probably found a quiet place to wait for his mom for the rest of the day.
Okay.
okay.
Maybe. If Mike is there,
Mike's
maybe
watching.
Danny impresses Mike.
Okay. Yeah, so Danny, you get out there and again, you know enough, I think. I mean, you've seen, you live in this town. You've seen softball played. You've done a lot of sort of tossing a ball around. Your brothers play baseball. So yeah, Mike, I think you sort of see Danny out there, a little bit of pitching, a little bit of batting, a little bit of catching, and she's a natural.
I think it should be like more of like a hitter or catcher. Yeah, it's probably like quick at catching. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Mike doesn't understand the rules completely. He knows you hit the ball and you run. And if it goes out before it passes the bases, generally that's not counted.
Nailed it.
She's really good. She's really good at catching the ball. She catches it like every time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Got it. Sport
Anything
games. Now I want to actually play softball.
Sports ball. I love softball.
Yeah.
I think I
Anything
want to
else?
have Axel be a drama kid, but I'm trying to decide if I want to do acting or have him be a techie.
Drama kid.
I don't know if the drama club would be set up in a way for him to be able to try both, or if he has to commit to one or the other.
In my experience, they especially encourage actors to also do other things. But yeah, I think initially there are signups for the club. For any sort of like acting, those are just gonna be kind of on like a show by show basis where they'll have auditions. But if you wanted to like express your interest in both, that would be okay.
Yeah, I think he does that.
Okay. Wow, you guys did a lot today.
Yeah.
Good job. Anything else?
How are we gonna solve mysteries if we're all on teams and stuff?
Mysteries will be involved around the sport.
We're gonna find out. So yeah, everybody remember what clubs you signed up for and what teams you're part of.
Football probably conflicts with the training schedule for the volleyball team, so we choose football.
Yeah. We're sort of locked into football right now.
I'm assuming there's some sort of like 4-H club,
What is that?
like livestock and agriculture and things like that.
Sure. Yeah.
4-H. What does that stand for? I forget.
Didn't we have to go speak to the bird watching club?
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think Axel signs up for it, but definitely tries to scope out the wildlife club. see if his sister's there, if anyone else is hanging out, or if they're what their official school presence is like.
Okay. Yeah, you can sort of fly by their meeting that they're having, seeing if anybody. Yep, just zoom down
And
the
my
hallway.
bird friends to
Um,
pick me up.
Yeah, you do a quick drive by of the Wildlife Club. It's a small group. Your sister is there, as well as like 5 other people. They probably have other members, but not a lot going on with them today. Mostly sort of talking to new students about what their club is about and trying to get people to sign up. But it's a small group of them. Okay. Anything else?
I think I interrupted your 4-H club.
Oh no, just like I was double checking. I was like, when did 4-H club exist? It's been around for a while, so it definitely
bet.
is a thing.
Yeah, you can for sure sign up for that.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I'm sure like her brothers have probably been in it. Cause it's like it's not like
Probably.
raising livestock and like doing agriculture stuff. It's like what her family does anyways.
Is the club just your family? Like, yay!
It's just my family. There's other kids in it. But yeah. Like raising sheep and stuff.
Definitely at least one of your brothers.
Yeah. One of those guys.
Okay. A successful day, I think. All around. So after school, Mel, you've been sort of hiding and waiting for your mom to be done and come pick you up. The rest of you, with your respective rides, after your tryouts and everything, are free to leave for the day. Because you've got other stuff to take care of, I think. So are you all getting together after school?
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
agreed we were going to go back to where we got attacked. Or were we off to see
We're gonna go see
Stacy?
Stacy. But I think we probably get rides home so we can get our bikes and go. And not like, hey, mom, can you drive us into the middle of the woods, please?
Yeah. Makes sense. Gotta go home, gotta eat a snack real quick, and then go out.
Oh yeah, because I was going to bring food round. I'm going to make some sandwiches.
That's right. All right. So, you all head home, grab your things. Mike makes some sandwiches. What kind of sandwiches do you make?
Oh, these are going to be like fancy. They're going to have like some aioli, got some cheese, some ham, some lettuce, some sliced tomato, cucumber, like rye bread. Make a few of those. And then we'll just make some plain. I would have definitely brought a supply of Vegemite with me. Some Vegemite sandwiches for people to try. Yeah, a variety of sandwiches. He likes cooking. But he's not going to tell people that because it's cool.
Okay. All right. So you all get your things together. Mike with sandwiches in tow, and you all meet up to head towards Stacy's house. So you're heading over on your bikes, I assume. Barry in tow. Is there anything you guys want to talk about before you go or on the way there?
Mike is definitely going to ask in front of the other 2 people, how come Mel has a little trio of cheerleaders following him around school?
First I heard about it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen them since this morning, and they weren't there, so,
I don't see why that matters.
we're in high school now.
It's you.
And-
Like, fair enough if they saw you after you ran, 'cause that was very impressive. But then this was before you ran. Are
I
you
don't
tutoring them?
know.
Have you seen them before?
Have I seen them before today? Is this something that went
I
on
think
last
so.
semester or last school year too?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they were, I think, they have like moved up to varsity cheerleading, but the cheerleading squad, JV and varsity both, I think, is at a lot of events and games and things like that. Yeah, I think I mean, they know who you are.
Yeah, I mean they sort of followed me around last year too. They keep trying to sit with me at lunch. I've had to start eating outside the cafeteria.
Well, that's not great. Maybe we should talk to them. They're like,
I
weirding
mean,
you out.
they're nice enough. They just talk a lot, and sometimes I don't really like talking to people. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they're not they it's fine.
You say so.
Like I said, it's not a big deal. I don't know why Mike's bringing it up.
Because it's like complete opposites between you and them. Stereotypically, I knew this place was weird with talking birds, but now this mysteries, so many mysteries in this place.
I mean, I guess the size of the deal is directly proportional to how hot they are. So, how hot are they?
I just looked
Yeah,
at
they do.
Mike.
Isn't one like the head cheerleader? Or is she just head of the little trio?
I'll say she was the junior varsity captain. And now this year they've moved into varsity, so she's not head of that, but she's important. Cassandra.
I
Head
don't
of
know their
cheerleaders, that's
names.
something.
I don't speak to them. We'll add this on our mystery list.
Is this really the most important thing for us to deal with right now?
You could be in danger, friend. We're just trying to protect you.
Why would I be in danger?
You got attacked by a bird. Now, strange things happening at school. Better to be safe than sorry.
Okay. Well, let's deal with the bird thing first, and then we can not
Also,
talk
she'll,
about any of that.
All right, let's deal with the bird thing, and then maybe a lack lunch or something. You could point them out.
Sure. So, let's go, right? And bird stuff. Figure out what's going on here.
Oh yeah, you saw that VHS tape of the vicious attack. And then I got a bag of bird seed, which I got off Stacy in case the birds come find me. I was meant to drop that off yesterday. Oh no, they're gonna be hungry. And a baseball bat in case of bird tags.
So prepared. So you make your way back out to the house where Stacy is currently staying. The two of you that are familiar with her, I think, go up, knock on the door. After a moment, you hear the locks clicking open, and she lets you into the house. You see Stacy is standing there again with Champ nearby, her dog, sort of eyeing you all, but she lets you in and says, "Well, hi, I'm Stacy." You must be Franz.
Yeah. Hi, Stacy. These are Mel and Danny.
Hey,
Welcome.
can I pet your dog?
Yeah, he's friendly.
I got sandwiches,
Nice.
and there's a lot of sandwiches. I use like a full loaf of bread.
Wow. Y'all gonna stay a while?
No, are we gonna stay a while?
Well, I mean, Mel's the friend I mentioned who has a better brain for this sort of stuff, and kind of points towards where the her uncle's papers are, and the diagrams and such, and also directs your attention to the. Was it actually a wall of like pictures and red thread in between, or?
Pretty much.
Oh yeah, 'cause didn't you guys see some dude?
They saw the uncle. But I don't know if we've actually pieced that together yet in fiction.
I don't think so.
No.
Maybe based off the
Just
address
some
on the wallet, if they link that to the guy.
Because, yeah, we are at the address on the driver's license.
Yeah, you guys would know that. So I think at this point you can all start putting that together.
Wait a second.
It's one of you non-charismatic people are gonna tell her that her uncle's crazy and living in a crashed train.
Well, we don't know if he lives there. We just saw him, or maybe him. I don't know. We didn't get a good look, but we did find
Not get attacked by the birds.
found his wallet and a bunch of birds.
Well, I wondered where he'd been. This is his house, technically.
You just been staying here without him around?
Yeah.
It's good just talking.
So, what's plan?
I guess I can look over some of the stuff and see what we can figure out from it, and see if we can find out where your uncle is.
That guy is him on the road.
This is more trying to recap the last month, trying to remember everything. Didn't we work out your little mystery stone power stuff? Because we're like, we can power our hideout with it.
We're not that far. That would be amazing, though.
But I know there's the device that we have to figure out what it's doing and how to stop
Are
it,
we
and
turning
then
it off or
Mhm.
destroying it?
yeah, well, we'd have to figure that out. And then there was the guy in the lab coat. Do I remember him having a lab coat?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have
that-
his driver's license.
we're
And also,
not.
he's in a lot of the pictures on the wall.
Yeah. So, do we know, is that her uncle or is that somebody else? Have we
Yeah,
figured out that
that's-
that's her uncle?
That's her uncle. That's what. Yeah, that's
Gotcha.
what they were just talking about.
Okay. That's what I was making sure, because I didn't remember if we had put that together.
Yeah. If you guys want to have that revelation in a conversation, that's fine. But I think you're there.
Okay.
We worked that out in the library based on the address we were at.
But Mel's going to start looking over the conspiracy wall to see if we can figure anything else out from it.
Okay. Let's
Maybe
do-
investigate or
Hmm?
comprehend. Investigate or comprehend.
I'll say investigate for understand clues. And you guys already have some information
Okay.
from this. I'm just gonna have to remember what I actually told you last time.
All right. So that's. I'm still injured. So minus
Yep.
1, that's 9 dice. So I'm going to have to roll these a couple of times. Not great on the first one. 3 successes on that one. 3 successes.
Okay. You get 2 questions and then 2 additional questions.
What does it mean?
What does it mean? What does anything mean? So Axel, I assume, has given you the sort of what he worked out.
Yeah, I'm
First
going
time.
back through my notes now that there was Dr. Charlene Mason, Charlie, who used to work at DART. Uncle Michael was kind of creeping on her, thinking she's, the greatest scientist, and how dare they, throw her out for her work. And then she got in contact with him. And it's like, hey, I'm working on a thing, and I could use your help because you know animals. And then we had some, not like full diagrams, but sketches of what is presumably the device you all found in the plane. And I think that's the gist of what we were able to figure out.
Okay.
And also that we should probably go and meet Dr. Lawrence and find out what he knows about birds, other than his now presumed phobia of them.
Which one's Dr. Lawrence?
He's the one who got attacked in the National Geographic video.
Right.
He had a TV
I
show.
showed you multiple times at the library.
Yeah.
He was the Bob Ross of birds.
Not anymore. All right, so yeah, Axel, I think, shares that stuff with you. What does it mean? I think with that information and sort of looking over these sketches, and then based on like what you've seen, because you've seen the actual machine at this point, sort of putting all of the threads together. It seems like, so you had these sort of small, well, it's kind of redundant. I was going to say these small microchips. That's what micro means. The microchips and things that are being attached to, implanted in these birds. They seem to, from the connections that you're drawing and sort of what you saw in the Magnetrine ship, are directly connected to this machine. It seems like the machine is emitting some sort of frequency that is fundamentally changing how the birds behave. It's done different things to different birds. It seems like based on their natural instincts. The predators have become bigger and more aggressive predators, so the hawks, swallowtail kites, that kind of thing. But for some reason, the smaller birds have gained the ability of human speech, particularly English, because you're in the United States. It looks like, especially with the sort of like gaining of language, that he is not entirely sure why that's what happened. But the sort of ultimate conclusion is that this machine was an attempt, successful or not, at controlling a whole bunch of birds and making them do what he wanted.
Does it say why, or just because he really wanted a bird army?
Well, a bird army is great if you are obsessed with someone and think that they were wrongfully fired from their job and want to maybe get revenge on some folks.
Okay.
It's not the easiest way to do it.
Then my second question, I guess, is, I was thinking it might be, where is it, and see if we can get an idea of where he might be right now. Like where, like, because we know he's working out of the plane, the Magnetrine ship. But if there's any idea of like where he is actually staying, because I didn't, unless we got the impression that he is actually like living in that ship.
Looking around the house, and based on what Stacy tells you, Stacy sort of came to stay with him for a while. He hasn't been here. The house isn't. She's in the process of sort of cleaning it up, but also she's 15, so she's only doing so much. But the house is in sort of disarray. Hasn't been like dusted or anything in a while. It's not really that lived in anymore, and I think you can get the impression based on looking at him that he's probably living on the ship.
Okay. All right. So yeah, Mel would just relay as much of that as he's going through it to the group, and then just. So I think he's. I guess this is a revenge thing for the birds. There's a lot of diagrams of the device here, so I think I probably have a better idea how we should turn it off. But yeah, this is some weird stuff.
Well, you said that the frequency is changing the birds. Would it be possible to reverse the frequency and change them back? Because, I mean, I'm all for talking bird friends, but I'd also like to not have big, giant, aggressive hawks trying to, maybe peck out my mom's eyes and anyone else who works at dark.
So would I have gotten that if the frequency is turned off, would that be enough to make the birds go back to normal? Is the frequency sustaining this change, or is it we would have to reverse it or do something to like counteract the effects that it's had?
So you do have 2 more questions because you rolled so many successes.
Oh, that's right. So
that can be one of them.
That would be one of my questions. I don't know out of that list which it would be.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Don't care that much.
How do I get into the birds' brains?
Okay.
Well, it depends. You can use a knife or a hammer or
Baseball bat.
What is wrong with you?
And now we know who the serial killers in the group are. That was your
yeah,
test. The FBI is on its way.
Surprise.
It's a sting.
it's a long con.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the longest con. Yeah, I think you get the impression that turning off the machine now will sort of stop any sort of further bird transformations. It's not going to completely reverse it.
Okay.
There's a chance that you could reverse the frequency. I mean, the most foolproof way to stop it would be to get the microchips out of the birds, but that's not really a feasible plan
No.
for you guys, given the number of birds, and also you're 12 years old, and I don't know that you can do that kind of science.
Then I guess I can ask an additional question. So I got one more question, right? Because I got 2 for the success.
Yeah.
One additional.
And
I
then
got
2
one
more
more.
bonus ones. Yeah.
Then I guess the last question would be how we would actually like reverse the signal. Like what is there like a passcode or some sort of like diagram that would show like what we need to do to change the signal to like turn the birds back?
I think given enough time, using the sketches and the blueprints and everything, you could probably figure out a way to rewire it. That's probably going to be fairly difficult and is going to take a couple of you more tech-minded people to do. It's possible. There would be some rolls to probably like nail it down and then actually to be able to go in and do it. The main issue you're going to have with that is the time it would actually take to do it if you could figure it out.
Okay.
But it's possible.
Time as in a couple of days, or time as in you'll also be getting attacked by birds, so you gotta be quick. both?
No, I guess I'm just nervous because, what if we decided, let's just go in and smash it, and what that drives, the birds all haywire, and then suddenly it is Hitchcock's The Birds here in Fountain City.
I mean, maybe
What
we
if-
could also go talk to him and
Yeah.
see why he's doing all this.
Because he didn't get attacked, did he?
I mean, we didn't see him get attacked, but
He may have like a helmet thing where he can tell them what to do. He would
I
tell them
didn't
to go
s-
migrate somewhere where there's nobody, or to someone else's town to be their issue.
What? Okay, so you think he has the device thing that we saw and a bird control helmet?
Well, he didn't get attacked when he walked in. Well, what about you? You got attacked.
I mean, maybe he
And-
did get attacked, and that's why he hasn't left yet.
Yeah, we didn't see him actually leave the ship.
Yeah, we just saw him walking around a little bit.
How would he eat food? Maybe I should take some sandwiches with us if we're going there.
I guess the question is, do you think he's going to try to stop us if we go there and try to turn it off?
Well, like, can he stop us?
I mean,
Got
he's
the
a
baseball bat.
he's a
Like, I'm pretty.
adult.
I'm maybe 12, but there's 4 of us, which 12 times 4 is. Come on, Mel. What's 12 times?
I don't understand the math that you're doing right now.
Well,
48. So he went like an arrow.
well, maybe if he tries to stop us, we could like. There was that like a storage room. Maybe we could like lock him in there or something.
Well, everybody likes me. I could try and bullshit my way. Offer him a movie.
This
Try and
guy
get
is
his
living out in the
photograph.
middle of the woods, building himself a bird army. I don't think he's going to operate like most other people.
Maybe he wants some bird seed. We have a bag of that here.
All right.
We'll
Or
have
we
to.
just-
Yeah, we either need to lock him in somewhere, like trick him into one of the rooms and try to lock him in there, or try to get him to leave the ship.
Stacy, do you feel like going on a dangerous mission to try and save your uncle? Dangerous as in there's vicious birds which attack people.
I know about the birds, Mike.
Oh yeah, because you're attacked. But yeah, do you want to come? Maybe your uncle won't try and kill us if you're there. Did you get
I
along
don't
with your uncle?
know. I'm gonna have you roll charm.
Oh my god, this guy's got this. 2 successes.
Okay. So they do what you want and 1 bonus effect.
Well, I've already got a lasting friendship with them. Last time I spoke to them.
Yep.
So they will take risks to help me.
All right. I mean, if you think that's the best plan, I'll try to help. I mean, we're not real close, but we're family.
It's still closer than 4 strange 12-year-olds going, "Hey, stop this machine."
Fair enough.
But I am on junior varsity, so maybe he'll listen.
You did
Yeah,
good
we'll
enough
see.
to get on varsity.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Is that what happened?
Did you get on varsity or junior varsity?
I don't know. I don't know what the difference is, to be honest.
Out of character, you got on junior varsity.
I love it so much.
I'm Australian. I threw a ball, somebody caught it, and they ran across the line, and people were cheering. I don't know what I did, but They did the running. I only threw the ball. It's all good. It's not that hard. So yeah, we'll go. Look, now we have a relative to come distract the guy. And 2 dogs. Is Champ coming? Or is Champ staying? Is Champ still injured?
Yeah, it's
Probably.
only been a day.
Been a night.
I'll probably leave Champ here. Just, for his safety.
Do
Okay.
we have time today, or do we need to wait? How long did Mel's research?
Yeah.
Not long. It's probably, let's see, after school tryouts. You're probably pushing 6 o'clock.
So we almost have to go home for dinner, probably. And then, I don't know, we haven't spoken to Dr. Dwayne yet. And he probably has some valuable insight we could get, because it feels like if we just go and deal with the machine, I don't know. I still think that's an avenue worth exploring. I don't know if we need to deal with the machine tonight per se, but
Well, what do we think that we're gonna get from him that we need to turn off the machine?
maybe less about the machine, but more about bird activity, physiology. Maybe he could somehow help us with reversing the signal.
Okay.
Or just like ask him to stop sicking his birds on people.
Like, we found a way to reverse it, but keep some of the talking birds, like some colts still around. We'd really appreciate it.
I mean, yes, that would be the ideal situation. Make the predators less angry, but keep the talking birds.
Bird friends.
So yeah, I guess if we break for dinner, Axel can see if his sister has somehow made contact with Dr. Dwayne, see what's come up there. Then we meet at the hideout, and it's either okay, we can go meet Dr. Dwayne, right now, or figure it out from there.
Isn't Dr. Dwayne head of the little birdwatching society club?
He founded the Wildlife Club, but he's been not that active in its activities. He's become a shut-in.
Well, I'm easy, whatever the plan is, just let me know. We didn't get homework, did we? You can
No,
look
not
frantically at everyone else. It's like, did we get homework?
No, we don't have homework.
Just get the syllabus signed and turned back in.
Yeah, I guess there's that. That's kind of homework in a way. Alright, so you're gonna go talk to your sister, and we'll be back here after dinner.
Here or the hideout?
Probably the hideout, because if we're going to meet Dr. Dwayne, he's, I don't know exactly where he is, but he's on the outskirts of town, so like the opposite direction of where we are right now.
Pretty much.
Okay, so we'll tell Stacey earliest we're going to go see her uncles tomorrow afternoon. Correct.
Probably.
Well, I
Unless
don't think we really want to be going through the woods around 7, 8 o'clock at night on a school night.
Well, y'all listen. I think she tears off a little scrap of paper and writes a phone number on it and gives it to Mike. And says,
Swords and ditch.
"That's a house phone. So y'all need me? Just call. It's my uncle's number, but he ain't here, so."
Okay.
See you later.
We're just awkwardly standing there, just like, yep.
So the four of you head out, dinner break. I assume go home, have a dinner, and then you are going to meet back up at the hideout. And Axel check in with your sister to see what's going on there and if she was able to talk to Dr. Dwayne. So we'll go ahead and take our break right now because it seems narratively appropriate. And we will be back in just a few minutes after we've taken a quick break to see what comes of all this. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks for playing, and we'll see you soon. welcome back, internet. Sorry for the long break, but we are going to pick up right where we left off, or I guess a little bit past it. So everyone has split up and gone home to have dinner, like responsible children. And afterwards, we're going to pick back up with everyone meeting at the hideout to discuss your next course of action. Axel, in the meantime, you were able to talk to your sister a little bit. She tried to talk to Dr. Dwayne. He is not super keen on meeting with anyone, but she thinks if you go, you might be able to convince him. So that's really up to you guys what you want to do. You have a couple of paths here that you can take. So what would you like to do?
So is the plan to meet after dinner? And I mean, I'm fine with going to talk to the doctor if we want to at least see what he does. I mean, you made a good point with he might be able to help us with the device.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we could go and just be, see if we can get anything more than him just slamming the door in our face. But
Or we can
certainly
just
try.
break into his house. Like the last time.
I don't know if he's a shut-in. He's probably got a booby trapped.
We could also just try talking to him.
It's like a Home Alone situation. All the booby traps are like.
Have you ever considered just knock, knock, knock? Hey, found this video of you. Wanted to see what you look like now. / bird issues.
I think that's most likely to get him to tell us to just piss off. It's like, hey, we came to see you, dude who got attacked by a bird.
Show us your messed up arm. Do you want to get revenge on the birds which did this to you? Because I know how.
Now, if we're trying to save the birds, I don't think we want to have revenge on the birds.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's a good
How
point.
long
Might not
ago
go well
was
for them.
that?
The video?
It's been, let's see, it's been a few years for sure. I'm gonna say, trying to find it in here. I don't know if I wrote it down. It's probably been 5 years ago.
So we are 100% confident that this bird didn't attack because it was part of like the early access version of this thing which is affecting the bird brains.
Only one way to find out.
So are we going tomorrow afternoon or are we going to go around this place like 7 o'clock at night and be like, so we're for 12-year-olds and a dog. You don't know us, but we're
But
coming
we
to
got
your house,
attacked by
stranger.
birds.
Is there
one
any?
time.
Do we have any time constraint? Like, I mean, as far as I know, we're not. The birds haven't started just like murdering people yet, so we're still good.
You don't know any people who've been murdered.
So depends on whether we want to finish this up tonight.
You're saying tonight in game or tonight?
Tonight,
Stream.
like in the fiction of tonight. Which is my favorite song.
Look, I'm also pointing out if his house is the complete other way away from the forest or the woods, do we need to go across town twice?
Off so many
Potentially.
calories.
I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking more about the time frame. It's like 7 o'clock.
I mean,
You got
we also
school
say
tomorrow.
across town. I mean, how fast can you go on a bike?
Pretty far.
you know,
Pretty
so
far wide.
fast.
30 speed.
It's not that
30 fast.
big of a town. I'll say I wouldn't rely on that ruler to give you any kind of reliable measurement.
I missed
Um,
the ping. Where does this doctor live?
I don't know if it has been pinged
Okay,
yet.
I didn't know if I had
he's
missed it.
over. No, but I can ping it for you. Over here.
Okay.
Oh, it's a rich district.
Mhm.
Oh,
Maybe
you're
I'm
right.
right.
He was on
Hate's
TV.
mother.
Over
Yeah.
near where
Maybe I'm with the Karen.
the Frasers live. Yeah, over near Caring.
Yeah, let's go there and like play it cool and just be like, hey, we heard you know about birds and some birds being weird, and see what he does.
Yeah.
What happens if he's part bird? Oh, that's interesting. Let's go see it. Mike's
One way-
interested
one
now
way
in
to find
case he's
out.
Part bird. So
Are you-
I'll bring the bird suit
Birdman.
just in case he's hungry.
Are you trying to imply that he got bit by a bird and now he's part bird?
What, you're saying that can't happen? It can only happen with the spider comic boy?
No, that was Sean. That was not Mel asking that. I don't know if you can tell the difference between our voices, but
I will say you do know what kind of bird he was bit by.
Yeah.
I've
Right.
watched it enough times.
I don't actually remember if I said this last time.
Wasn't it the big white one?
A swan.
The swan.
nice swan man.
Well, see, I
We're
would
seeing a
never
swan
guess
coming at
swan
you?
because
I thought you had said a hawk. That's what I had down in my notes, but
Oh,
we
well,
can
in my
we can
notes it
retcon
says
to a
swan,
swan.
but I could have not been looking at my notes last time.
I
I'm
was
gonna
saying,
stick with what's
edible-
on my sheet.
Okay,
Whether or not it is actually what I said,
sure.
that's what I'm
So-
gonna stick with.
It is now a swan that had attacked him.
Swans are terrifying.
they have teeth. Yeah, because we were talking about the teeth.
I thought that was geese.
Geese also have teeth.
I don't know. Birds have teeth in general.
was a swan,
I
it was
didn't
really
think it was a
terrifying.
swan because we don't have that in our bird information handouts.
We don't have a bird handout.
Well, you don't really know of any swans that live in your town. You haven't seen any.
But now we're gonna come and see the Star of Swan Lake.
What if he got like bit by a swan and now it's like the swan princess? He like turns
You
into
turn-
a swan
yeah.
sometimes.
It's really just an ugly duckling.
I don't know. He does live outside of the radius of Dart, so
Ah,
Yeah,
Well-
but did he get attacked in the radius? That's the question.
No, so you guys do know that the attack happened like a while ago and was also probably not here. So his whole show wasn't filmed in like your little
Ah.
podunk Alabama town.
ah.
But still,
I can
My
say that
money's
because it's
still
the
on
same town I
Birdman.
grew up in.
my money's still Birdman.
Let's go find out.
Yeah, might as well go talk
If-
to him.
You guys are making this way more interesting than I did.
So Mike's trying to connect with his cousin because he knows he's going to need help with schoolwork, okay? And it's really not working out.
He just needs to try a little harder.
He's got to try
He
a
got
lot
distracted
harder.
from the stalker cheerleader witch comment.
You guys are gonna make me do witches in this game, huh?
No, they could just be
I
normal
would be
kids.
shocked
just-
if you weren't going to already.
We'll find out.
All right, so you hop on your
Maybe.
bikes and drive. Well, not really. It's not really driving, I guess. You ride
Right.
toward. You pedal
Spin.
toward the home. Yeah, you spin. You spin towards the home of the once famous ornithologist, Dr. Dwayne Lawrence. You sort of come upon this house. You enter the familiar neighborhood where you know the Frasers to live because you broke into their house that one time, kind of, and sort of head off around the corner, sort of towards the end of the neighborhood. And in one of these cul-de-sacs, there is one house that looks markedly different from the rest of them. It's all these sort of large two-story brick houses But there is one sort of at the end of this neighborhood that takes up sort of a large kind of corner plot that is not, I guess, on the outside, not nearly as well kept as the rest of them. There are, hedges around the outside, and then this kind of iron rock gate in the front. But bird-shaped. What if it was bird-shaped? Sorry, that really
It's
made
like
me laugh.
Batman. He just has to live in his fear.
Just a house shaped like a bird. Sorry, Morgan, that really made me laugh. It's
If this guy does
it's
not run around at
bird-shaped.
night dressed like a swan, then I'm gonna be very disappointed now.
I'm
Listen,
telling
he's-
you, he's part swan. He doesn't have to run around.
No, I like
gotta
this
get to that
Batman
point.
thing now, though, like a lot.
He's got to get to that point. But it's not an exceptionally well kept house, as you would have from someone who never goes outside, which you sort of know about Dr. Dwayne Lawrence. But I think you can see sort of as you ride up, sort of along the power lines in the neighborhood, and kind of along the tops of a lot of the houses, and then especially kind of perched on this particular roof, there are just birds everywhere, sort of lining the roofs, lining the power lines, kind of sitting around. Lots of these swallows and everything that you guys have been seeing before. Not swallows, robins, that you have been seeing before. And then I think sort of walking across this driveway, you all see this just long line of ducks. Just kind of marching across. Quacking
Did we
at
get
each
told
other.
the ducks were bad?
I think the ducks are fine. I think they're on the smaller side.
They're
'Cause
wood
there
ducks,
was
so
a
they're not huge.
Specific mention of between the difference between Australian ducks and American ducks last session. I'm trying to remember. Are the ducks bad?
You haven't really personally encountered a lot of the ducks. I mean, they don't seem to be attacking anything. They're just sort of marching, and they're making some noise though. They're definitely sort of quacking at each other and
They're alarm
marching
ducks.
along.
I had they're just, one of them is doing left, left, left,
Mhm.
right, left.
Yeah, the one at the front is quacking. That's what's
Okay.
happening.
I do have my massive bag of bird seed in my bag. Now I'm afraid to bring it out because there are a lot of birds.
It doesn't sound like a good idea.
But
Well-
they are the little birds. Maybe they know our cult friend.
Maybe.
I am a
Maybe it's
god
bad, they
amongst these birds, aren't I?
Now, are you just carrying this large burlap sack of birdseed with you?
Yes.
You just, like,
50-pound
you just-
bag.
Carrying it?
It's in my backpack because I didn't know if we were going to go see the birds after school.
Okay.
I didn't know if we were going to Stacy's and then to the birds. So I'll bring it anyway.
Okay.
I promised them food and we haven't been back. I'm going to be prepared in case we do go back. I don't take it to school.
I'm just trying to decide how aware birds are that birdseed is in their vicinity. But probably not.
Yeah, you're gonna
very
get
until you
carried off,
throw
my
it at
dude.
them.
I also have a baseball bat in case they come attack.
We'll see. So there's a line of ducks sort of marching across. Quack, 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 quack.
So
Here, ducky, 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 ducky.
are we going to just try and walk past them? Or are we going to try and negotiate?
I mean, unless they try to stop us.
Yeah, maybe they're like normal ducks. They just wanted to line up like that.
Looking at this whole situation, I'm like, what about this as normal?
Well, yeah. I mean, they're quite. Yeah, there's a lot of birds.
Do they turn back around and start walking back across the driveway the other direction once they hit the end?
Yeah.
Are they patrolling? They're patrolling. This isn't normal.
Let's just walk up to the house and see if they try to stop us. And then you can negotiate, I guess, with the ducks.
So before
Yeah.
yesterday, that would have sounded crazy.
And today,
It's normal. It's in the realm of possibilities, which is really freaking me out a bit.
Don't worry, it'll be fine. Kind of like pats you on the back.
Right.
I mean, sometimes this town is normal.
Just like get the seed out. I say the word properly.
Just keep it on the down low for now.
Okay. I'll just hold the baseball bat in case they come at me viciously.
Okay, so you take your baseball bat and you walk up to this line of ducks that's sort of patrolling the
I thought Mel was
driveway.
gonna try and walk past them.
Are you gonna
Yeah.
go?
sure.
Okay. Yeah, you walk towards the ducks. I think once you get close, the line kind of stops, and you hear, almost like muttering, like between the ducks, like like they're talking to each other. And they all just sort of stop in a line and are just like looking at you.
I try to walk around them.
And they start quacking very loudly and walking toward
Shuffling
you.
in front of me.
They're ducks.
As like herding him back.
No, they just kind of like shuffle their line in front of him to be like, you can't walk here. I don't know what a duck would sound like if it could talk.
Can't speak with animals on yourself, Mel.
Quack, 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 quack.
Mel just turns back to Mike and be like, "Do you play
I've
D&D?"
been reading some books, okay? I went to the
Okay.
library and asked for the nerd section, and they just showed me where you sit.
Okay.
So I try to be nice, and then you just...
Do you play Dungeons and Dragons?
Do you, in fact, play the Dungeons and the Dragons?
Mel just steps back and says, "All right, so they are going to try to stop us. Negotiate away."
Quack, 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 quack. I can't make a good duck noise, I'm sorry.
I
do
think
I
you're doing
quack,
great.
Or do I just speak normal? I think I'll speak normally because I may insult them. I may have...
I think if you try to
Wrong
speak their
tone.
language and you don't know it, it's just going to be offensive.
Yeah. Can I try and grab the attention of one of the robins? Because they're the nice, friendly, talky ones.
Sure, yeah, I think there are a lot of them sort of perched along the like hedges of the roof.
Let's
They're
see how
they're
far
looking at
our-
you.
Let's see how far our reputation has spread amongst the birds.
Okay, what are you trying to do?
Get one of their attention to come down and talk to me if we can talk. We need a translator.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is probably going to end up really bad. I'll grab a little handful of seed out. I promised them food. All these birds always ask for food, so
Okay. One of them, after some tweeting amongst themselves, one of them sort of swoops down and lands on the mailbox, or near you, and cocks its head and kind of hops towards you and says, "Food? You
yes,
food?
food. I'm not food. I have food, but I'm not food.
Food.
Clarify that. I am not food." So, yeah, we met some of your friends yesterday in the woods, and we became tight. We're good friends now. Can you tell the ducks to let us through? Like,
Mean ducks.
mean ducks. I know they're mean ducks. So they won't listen to you.
Ducks need food too.
Okay. So if I give them food, they'll let me through.
Simple ducks.
Okay. I'll give this robin some food. And be like, the ducks are simple. Gosh, it's everyone in Alabama.
Hey, you're in Alabama too.
I'm from
I
Australia.
don't know what to tell you. They're ducks.
Yeah, and the robins are talking English. Okay, so let's Okay.
I think
They're
the,
organized.
So I think the robin like eats a little bit of the bird seed out of your hand and then kind of flaps up and like lands on your backpack where I assume you had sandwiches at one point.
Sandwich.
like,
oh, there's still sandwiches in there. I
Duck
would have
food.
taken some.
Duck food, duck food, duck food.
Look, guys, it's all working out. Me keeping a bunch of random food in my bag is to get us through this situation.
It's always worked for me.
Why do you even still have the sandwiches in there?
In case we're off to see Stacy's uncle, if he's been trapped in there and he's nice, he could be hungry. Gosh, don't you care about anyone else but yourself, Mel?
No.
Tear some bread up and throw it at the ducks, like to one side, so we can rush past the other.
So you throw the duck some sandwiches.
You give a duck a sandwich.
So Mike just pulls out a couple more sandwiches out of his bag, as if he hasn't pulled enough sandwiches out of his bag today.
How much stuff you got in there?
It's just full of food, okay? Gotta be prepared for every situation. What happens if I get hungry and we're out here?
No, I remember there being Vegemite sandwiches. What was the other type of sandwich you made?
It was
Something.
like ham, cheese, salad, aioli, on rye. It was pretty good.
Fancy.
Bit of avocado as well. Just
What?
Do they even have
Happy till
avocado
there.
in the 80s?
avocado's not a
Yeah.
new fruit.
No, avocado
it
didn't
only
exist
recently
until
came.
2007.
Millennials
And
invented
someone's
it,
like,
right?
what happens if I mash this green thing onto some
Gross.
toast? Like,
Avocado's
oh, man, this is
nasty green
amazing.
thing.
It's amazing.
You're not alone. I don't like avocados either.
I love avocado.
Yay, another.
I'll eat avocado
Wow,
toast
Molly.
all day.
Alright, you can't have guacamole without
Guacamole's gross and avocados are gross, and the whole
Oh.
internet can come after me. I
That-
guess.
That.
You heard
Morgan,
it
I
here.
support you.
Same.
Yep.
Yay. Anyway, so we're chugging these
Mel, we
sandwiches.
can bond on
We
something.
can
She
bond
brings
over our
food
love of.
and
Wait,
feed it to
wait,
the ducks.
wait. You like avocado?
I love avocado.
I do
don't know
too.
why. Oh
We
my
threw the
god.
sandwiches on the ground and then got distracted with the avocado argument. In the meantime, the ducks have eaten it and reformed their line.
That's what happened. No,
Mel
just
is no
kidding.
longer my
A quack
rival.
it
He is
line.
my avocado aficionado friend.
So you, while you guys bond over, like, wait, there was avocado on those sandwiches. You toss a sandwich to the ducks, and you see the robin that was on Mike's backpack sort of flutter down and start squawking, and like it's little like it's sort of like interspersed like little like tweeting and like sounds like a bird, and then just randomly will go duck food, and then is and the ducks all sort of run towards the sandwich, and you guys use that as your opportunity.
I am realizing maybe this wasn't duck guarding. Maybe this was the duck picket line that we just crossed. And we should
Oh,
be prepared for
no.
that.
Mean ducks, remember? They said mean ducks.
I mean a lot of things.
Could have been a threat. you
Maybe
know?
the ducks are keeping this guy trapped, and the robins are like, we're here for protection, even though they're not that tough, but
Do
there's
the
a lot
ducks
of
obey
them.
the swans? Is that how the hierarchy works with waterfowl?
I think it's duck, goose, swan.
Mm-hmm.
Duck, goose, swan.
Swan. All right, guys. I really did not anticipate this being a big deal when I put some ducks outside this house, but here
It's the
we
most
are.
challenging encounter that we've had all game.
So the ducks go and eat your great Vegemite avocado sandwich, you fucking monster.
Vegemite and avocado together is actually really yum too, by the way. Just putting it out there.
Noted.
Vegemite's just salty, so it's really good.
Never had Vegemite.
I haven't either, actually.
But yeah, at least they weren't mighty ducks. They were quite weak.
You make your way up to the house. At least once per session, my games go just so completely off the rails, but it's funny, and that's all that matters. So you make your way past the munchin ducks. The robin's sort of looking over. I think the one robin that you were talking to comes like fluttering down on your backpack, Mike, just like one more time, and just like sitting there. You food.
I am not food. I
You
told
food.
you I'm. I'll throw some birdseed behind us, but quick before it catches on. This one,
You-
man.
Flaps
But we
away.
can't make these guys not talk. If we turn all the robbers back to normal, I'm gonna hate everyone. You
and
keep at least one around who can talk.
the robin
They're called
flaps
parrots.
away as
Not one parrot.
the robin flaps away and sort of lands on the ground, pecking at some of the seed, and a few others kind of come down. But yeah, you all quickly sort of make your way past the ducks and all the birds into the gate and up the front walk of this house. Knock on the door.
Let's just see if it's unlocked.
It's not.
Okay. Then we'll knock.
Wait, this guy locks his front door in the 80s? Serious.
Admittedly, he does have a vicious line of ducks out front.
That's true.
He's very
No one will
afraid
get
of
past the
birds.
ducks. He doesn't even get past the ducks.
So
Okay.
you knock on the door, and I think you hear some shuffling behind it.
Flapping of wings.
No flapping,
Honking.
just a little shuffling, no squawking or anything. There's some shuffling, and then there's quiet for a minute, and then you hear some clicking on the door, some like sounds of like locks being undone, several locks being undone, and then the door opens just a couple of inches on a chain lock, and you can just see this very disheveled man sort of looking out at you, like wide eyes behind big glasses. You recognize who was a man who was probably once Dr. Dwayne Lawrence, looking out at you kind of through the crack in the door. What do you want?
Dr. Lawrence, hi, I'm actually Andrito. I don't know. My sister's Angela. She's in the wildlife club. She suggested we may want to talk to you about the birds being weird in town.
I told her not to send you.
She suggested that you might be more amenable if we came. I mean, you've obviously got a few specimens out here. I mean, the ducks and the robins all around, but I mean, have you seen any of the bigger birds flying by?
Oh, I've seen them.
We think we might know, or at least have an idea of what's doing that, and we were wondering if you might be able to help us undo it. If you might have some insight into bird psychology, maybe.
I'm gonna have you roll to, I think, charm.
Yeah.
Ask if his parrot's swan.
I'm still an angry boy. I need to take care of that at some point.
An angry boy.
I'm gonna use a luck point because that was no successes.
Okay.
Oh no. Got this.
Nope, still none.
Ah! You rolled so many twos.
You gonna push your luck? Push it.
What does that do again?
You take.
Take a condition.
Yeah, you
Condition.
can you can take a condition in exchange for
A roll.
re-rolling.
Unless your pride is something that can help in this situation.
You can also check pride.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to come up with a way that mixtapes are gonna help here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take scared and go into Mr. Doctor. I understand that you have some concerns about the birds, but I also have some concerns. We think that a formerly disgruntled scientist at DART is forming a bird army and plans to take revenge on the people at DART for stuff they did. And I mean, my mom works at DART, and I really don't want my mom to get attacked by a swarm of birds.
He's considering it. Yeah, you can roll one more time. I will say also somebody can help.
I am risking my life on his roll.
Why
Just
are lives at
tag
stake
me
all of a
in
sudden?
You can just tag me in after.
Um,
Okay, so I'm seeing it does say immediately mark a condition, then re-roll all your failed dice.
Yes, so you mark a condition and then you re-roll.
So I have even more of a penalty.
oh no.
Yep.
If you if you re-roll, if you're re-rolling the same number of dice, does the penalty apply? Because the penalty
Yeah, I
is
guess
just to take a
it's
die
re-roll
away.
all your failed dice.
Yeah. So you wouldn't lose the die on that roll.
But just like few rolls after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it that way. Let's say I'll
Okay.
let you re-roll and then
Yeah, so
condition penalty moving forward. That seems like the more fair way
I'll
to do it.
uncheck it for this, roll, and then check it.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
seems like the fair way to do it.
Still nothing.
Axel?
Oh no.
Does anybody want to help?
Do you want to tag us in, Alex?
I don't know how to narratively help.
It's just one
Help
extra
only gives
die,
him one
so
extra
your call.
die. I can help you feel better afterwards about having a little chat and be like, it's okay, Bran.
Okay. So yeah, I think Axel, like having this conversation, I was gonna say you look scared. What does that mean for Axel? 'Cause I don't think you guys have ever seen Axel really looking like afraid of anything before.
Yeah, I mean, I think it gets to a lot of, looking down at his feet, doing the very much like making his body language small and holding himself, but is trying to, alternating that with trying to look Dr. Lawrence in the eye, but is also, you can tell he's on the verge of trying to hold back tears.
Oh, no creepy old dude's gonna make this guy who I find freaky, but I like it, cry. Like, Mr. Dr. Swan, half swan person, dude. You got attacked by a swan, so I'm assuming you're half swan because you're not showing your full body. I will throw birdseed in this house so the birds attack you. If you do not let us in. And I have a cult following with the Robins. And I know a swan.
This did not go
That's
the
what
way that I
12-year-old would do.
thought it was going to go.
I'd like you to apologize
either.
and let us in.
Every time. I guess you can roll for charm.
2 successes.
Okay.
Roll 20 is nice to me today.
For the first time.
Let's have them frightened of me.
Okay. Yeah.
Some
I
old
think,
doctor's afraid of a 12-year-old.
I think Axel, who is sort of like very distressed and kind of on the verge of tears, I think Mike, you see Mike like step up to defend you. He like has your back in this moment, and it's very nice. But as you say this, he sort of looks between all of you, and he doesn't move to open the door because of the way this conversation started. But I think you see when you say like I know a swan, his eyes sort of go wide at that and the threat of you throwing birdseed into his house, and he says, all right, what do you want? Make it quick.
I look at everyone else. Like, oh, didn't think past this point. What do we want?
Well, do you know anything about what's going on here?
The birds.
Maybe something about how to deal with some of these birds if they're like attacking us and stuff.
Run away.
Not sure that's gonna work. I mean, there's the machine in the middle of the woods that is, signaling the microchips in their brains, and we know that we could theoretically shut it down, but we also want to reverse it so that the mean birds aren't as mean.
I think when you mention a machine and microchips, his eyes like go wide and he says, I'm not crazy. Something's going on with the birds.
That's
Yeah. You've been acting
you're
all
still
weird.
maybe crazy. It's
Shh.
just not about that.
Like nudges him.
I knew it.
What else do you know?
Everything about birds. This machine. What do you know about it?
It was made by a. Crap, I just have Uncle Michael in my notes. I don't remember his last name.
Michael, I was just looking at it earlier. Dixon.
It was made by a Michael Dixon. And it controls bird brains.
I think you see a look of recognition on his face when you mention that name.
He was trying to avenge some other-
Arlene Mason.
Charlie Mason.
Charlie.
Yeah, she
I
wrote to
always
him
knew he
going
was going
all
to lose
like,
it someday.
oh my gosh, they fired me. Help. And he's all like, become the penguin, but of all birds. Trying to do Batman reference to Bond with Mel.
Mel just keeps looking over at you, like not understanding how you are saying the things that you're saying.
Dixon. I always knew he was going to lose it one day.
So does that mean you'll help us?
I'll do my best. Give me. You see him like hold up, looking at a watch. 23 minutes. He slams the door.
Oh, it's getting kind of late.
So watch. That's pretty exact amount.
How long does it take a swan to lay an egg? Is it 23 minutes?
So much things happening there.
I'm very curious to see how you do in biology once we start taking that.
Do you do anything in the next 23 minutes? Do you wait for 23 minutes?
I
think
guess.
Axel is resigned to wait. He probably goes and sits down on the porch.
Can I
with
try
the
and
steps or whatever.
Yeah.
comfort, like fix some of these conditions on Axel with my lead?
You sure
Still.
can.
I'll give him a piece of chili and be like, hey, buddy. Hey, friend.
It's been a month, so I heard chili again. I was confused.
Ah, Chickles!
Takes
It
a
was-
bowl of chili out of his bag. Would you
Here's
guys be
some
surprised at this point?
Delicious chili.
So yeah,
I'm so
you,
changing my iconic item after this mission.
You Mike, you sit down with Axel and try to boost him up again. Yeah, roll to the lead. So lead plus heart.
You make the one condition. Okay. No problem if I get a success. 3 successes.
Holy shit,
You are
okay.
fully healed,
Jeez.
friend.
Yeah, so you can
That's weird.
heal everything but broken. So you heal one of his conditions, and then you get 2 bonus effects, which are you heal an additional condition or you heal one of your own. So do you have any?
I'm perfect.
So yeah, how do you, Axel? What 2 conditions did you had?
Angry and scared.
Angry and scared. What do you guys talk about? How do you make him feel better? He's angry and
Well-
scared right now.
Scared probably because of the birds. I would show him birds aren't that scary by giving him some bird seed to feed the friendly robins. and I'll probably just, I don't know, how would I forgot what made you angry again?
Uh, I think researching in the library.
Oh yeah. I just. Did you find it funny when Olmec got attacked by a swan? So I know Mike did. It was hilarious.
Y'all Australians have a weird sense of humor. Is it just because everything's always trying to attack you down there that you
Yeah.
have to laugh at it?
If you don't, you just cry. I don't know. I just would have tried to make him laugh, to not be angry.
Could be in the background, Danny's trying to like catch one of the ducks. She wants to hold it real bad.
The ducks are out front.
Yeah,
Oh
we're
my
waiting on the porch.
Gosh, what do I have you roll to try to catch a duck?
I don't know, man.
It's move.
Move.
gotta be,
Okay. Sounds about right.
Does it say, well, force is injure, physically stressful. No, I'm gonna say move.
Okay.
Run fast. Yeah. Just roll
Let's
the
see
dice.
how well this goes. Maybe it goes terribly, and that's what y'all start laughing about. Okay, that one was cocked. Let's reroll that one. No, there's no success here.
No. I think as the two of you are having this conversation about like, is that you just have to laugh at everything in Australia because everything is so scary. I think the two of you just see like out off where Axel is like sitting on the porch, Mike sort of sitting next to you. You guys see kind of out in the driveway right next to the gate, Danny is just like desperately chasing this duck
It's like trying to catch one.
around, like just trying to be friends with it, and it is
Hey,
like
ducky.
not having any of it, and she's just like talking to it and like trying to get it to be your friend, and she like dives for it a couple of times and just like kind of tumbles over, and the duck is just like just like running
Yes.
around. It's hilarious.
Here you go.
She should have just used some bread.
Probably.
Now, this has to be a private conversation with the kid. I can't be like a group session with Mel to heal his one condition with my spare success, right?
No, you'd have to do that one separately.
He doesn't like me, so I'm not going to.
I don't know how you could talk his ankle better too, so I think that probably works.
Yeah, I don't know if it works for. Oh no, you have a sprained ankle.
I can
But-
give them advice and comfort. You know, just it doesn't have to be a chat.
Yeah, I mean,
I
it
could be
is.
medically trained.
Mechanically, it says you only can't fix broken. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure how you're supposed to fix injured and exhausted, but
I don't know. You guys, I listen. I'll let you get away with
Exhausted, I pull out a
literally
sandwich.
anything that's
Done.
remotely convincing. So
Yeah, exhausted I could
Oh, I
get because
didn't-
like you'd help them like perk up and give them a pep talk. But
that's on you guys. If you can justify it,
well, we don't have to justify right now. We'll see if we have to justify
I
it later.
punch him in the arm so the pain's there instead of his ankle.
okay, Dad.
See, look, your ankle's not sore anymore,
Rub
is it?
some dirt in it. It's fine.
Are you trying to have this conversation with Mel right now?
No.
Okay. We'll see. Yeah, Axel, you feel much better, I think.
Mike's actually a really nice guy. Pay attention.
23 minutes later, which was probably in real time. I'm kidding. The image of just Danny chasing a duck around is going to stay with me forever. If any artists are watching our stream right now, draw that. That's the best. But after a few minutes, Axel feeling much better, or sort of wherever you want to be, kind of emotionally with those conditions going away. You hear, I think, behind the two of you, sort of sitting on the stoop, the clicking of locks again, and all you see is just this arm, this man's arm, kind of stick through the gap, and you can see, those of you that are close, the sort of scarred up kind of forearm of the Man who was attacked by a swan. You all saw it happen in a video, so you can assume that's where those are from. He just sort of sticks his like scarred up arm through the gap in the door, and is holding just like a couple of like bunched up papers.
Mel's probably the only one that's close enough at this point. If they're talking on the porch, then Mel will
Yeah.
take the papers.
So you take the papers and he retracts his arm, and you just see like the one, like half of his face, like his eye looking out at you, just like the machine.
It like starts like going through them. Is it like legible? Can I read what it says, or is it just crazy talk?
No, it's you guys spent a lot of time on this. I'm not going to give you nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you see some drawings that they're not exactly the same, but they're similar to the machine and the diagrams that you saw of the machine before, but the notations around them are quite different, and there's some like wiring instructions essentially, and he says, "You can fix it."
Okay. Thank you.
Send the birds away, please.
Okay. We'll do that. Just like slowly backing away from the scary man.
He just like slams the door, and you hear like click, 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 like 7 or 8 times, just like locks.
So we got the instructions.
Good. Well, yeah, I think that went about as well as we could have expected.
Are we like completely certain that this is actually gonna work?
No. You're the one reading the papers. I got the bat in case it doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know this kind of stuff super well. This might be something that Danny, you might be better at actually doing this with the machine. I can
Yeah. Let me
help.
take a look at it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the execution is going to be up to you two, and I guess Mike and Stacy will work on distracting her uncle.
Yeah, that's a
Are
good
we
idea. This
dealing
might
with
take
it
a minute.
tonight or tomorrow.
Probably tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a little late.
Yeah, it's not like birds haven't attacking anybody yet. That we know of.
Except him. He's avoid swans. Was he part swan? Did he have feathers on his eye?
You know, I might have seen one feather.
I knew it. To see a vigilante swan man attacking criminals.
Yes, you know that criminal underbelly the Fountain City is infamous for.
Well, so far we have stopped some criminals. You know, the whole brainwashing the whole town and taking over the world. Bit criminalistic. Kidnapping people. Just destruction of property. All criminal activities there.
Have you been reading my comic books?
No.
Have you been?
No, he's just been spending time with Mel's sister trying to get information on what he likes.
Nice.
Spending time with her because she's the nice cousin and just trying to suss out information about Mel's. If you can help me with that.
Okay.
I want to read a comic book. Look at it. There's so many words in there. Admittedly, there are pictures, but there's still so many words.
It's alright, I didn't think you'd be able to read them anyway.
The movies are better. Oh. Look, he didn't do the summer reading. He watched the video.
Listen, I know there's no money in making movies about comic books. It'll never be done.
No. I don't know. Have you seen the Hulk TV show? That's pretty good.
Hmm. All right, we should go home before my mom figures
What's the
out that I'm
plan?
not in my room.
After school tomorrow, meet up at Stacy's. Gives Danny a night to read over the notes. We'll come up with a plan. Metagaming, that'll give me a chance to do a lead roll to give everyone extra die rolls in case we need it. Deal with the uncle / hit some big birds away with the bat, and if needed, destroy the machine. Is that right?
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
There's our plan. An ace school tomorrow.
First
Okay.
day of actual school. Homework and
First-
stuff.
Real day of school.
Just
So
three.
you, so you hand the plans over to Danny.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Look at
So
this.
you're gonna take a little bit of time to look at them and probably comprehend them. Let's
Okay.
see.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Well, how you roll to comprehend?
Okay, let's see. What do I have for that one? One success.
Okay. Yeah, that's enough. So you sort of spend your evening going over these plans, sort of figuring out based on your knowledge of the machine that you have right now, which is it's not a lot, but you've seen it in person, and Axel and Mel have both sort of looked over the initial, at least like sketches for it, so you can take what they've told you and shown you and look at this, and it's not, I mean, it's not any more complex than, like, I don't know, the things your brothers do to like help, fix the tractor when it's gone wrong or anything like that. So you think you could figure it out if you really sort of got in there and started messing around with it. But yeah, you probably, I don't know, like take a notebook of your own and kind of sketch out your own little detailed plan of how you would maybe do this. It's something that it's not easily done. It's going to take a little bit of skill. It's going to take a little bit of time. So going into it, if you guys are going to try to fully reverse whatever the machine is doing, you're going to need some help from your friends to give you the time necessary to do it, but you think you could do it.
Sweet. And probably while she's working on it at some point, she's like, is there a robotics club? Maybe I should join that.
You can look at all the club sign-up sheets tomorrow. If there's not, I'm certain you could find other people interested in making one. But yeah, anything else anybody wants to do before tomorrow?
Nope.
Okay. So Danny is sort of sketching down your idea for maybe setting all the birds back to normal with the machine, given enough skill and enough time. We'll go ahead and end our session there, because anything else is going to take a lot of time to do, and I don't want to go too far over. Put on nice music. That one's fun. Yeah, we'll go ahead and end there. We have some end of session questions for everybody. So it's like after the mystery, or if it continues, you guys know me, it's always going to continue a little bit. We have 5 questions that I will ask you. Did you participate in the session? Obviously.
Yeah.
You all did participate. So many. 1 XP for that. Have you been in trouble because of your problem or your relationships?
So
I-
I rolled a. Go ahead.
No, you do yours and then I'll ask my question.
Yeah, I rolled against the doctor because it was my sister who's the connection.
I think that counts.
Ah.
Yeah, because I think she sort of set that up for you. So yeah, I think that totally counts.
I'm assuming that with the tryouts for the cross country team, I was rolling for the tryout, but I never rolled because of actually trying to like compete against Mike.
You're competing against me.
Well, I'll say you rolled and you purposefully used some of the dice that you rolled to influence his relationship with you. So
Okay, if that would count, that
I mean, I think that's enough.
I'll take it.
Okay. Did you use or struggle with your pride?
Very specifically, did not.
We might need to talk about Axel's pride.
Yeah.
Mixtapes
It might
did
be a
not end
little
up
too
being as useful in this campaign.
Yeah.
Which we can do. We can talk about it. I'm okay with changing stuff. So if you
I
want to
see.
sort of extend that out, we can
Mhm.
definitely do that.
I succeeded at everything, so now we got a chance to check it. It's terrible. Everybody just likes me.
Just stop being so good.
Oh man, I hate being this good at this game.
It's all gonna come around. Did you put yourself at risk for the other kids?
I called out Swan Man,
You did.
Yeah.
and I
I
carried
would
around a
say-
bag of birdseed in bird area.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Could have
feel
been
like
carried off.
feel like it would be double counting the role I did for number 2, but I'm the one who did the risky rolling for trying to convince the doctor initially, at least.
Yeah. No, I think that totally counts
Tried to walk around some ducks.
based on how sad you were.
Try to catch a duck.
I think given the current mystery, all of those were pretty dangerous moves.
Good point.
I think everybody gets that one. But yeah. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Have you learned something new? And what is it?
I'm a natural at football,
Apparently.
and Mel has stalkers. Most popular with the cheerleading squad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What is with that?
Kenny's good at softball, and Axel can't. And Axel can apparently play the.
Well, I don't think he knows how to play the tuba yet, but is going to be taught how to play the tuba.
Oh my god.
Did anyone comment on that when he?
Angrily plays the tuba because he can't have a guitar. No, but I feel like we probably are the first day he shows up with one because you probably don't have one the first day. You have to
Yeah.
like go rent one or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah. Tuba
Oh
is
my
not an
gosh.
inconspicuous thing.
No, I'm excited to talk about that.
That's when you guitar.
It's a custom piece. You guys wouldn't understand. All right. So yeah, mark your XPs as are available. Friendly reminder: you can spend 5 XP to increase one of your skills by 1. Your skills can go up to 5. You can only bank 10 XP. So if you have at least 5 now, I recommend spending them. And we can talk about those moving forward. Is anybody thinking they're gonna improve something right now?
Yeah.
I was actually,
Sorry.
I was actually thinking tinker, maybe for playing instruments, manipulate machines and other mechanical items.
That's fair, yeah.
We turn that into the musical instrument skill.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I'm just
I'll
upping
try.
I
my
like that.
my move again. It's not exciting.
I'm definitely going the jack of all trades route. At this point, I only have 2 skills that don't have at least a 1 in them.
Oh,
Nice.
really?
Whoa. I have so many skills with 0 in them. I'm like, do I want to up my comprehend to make me a better quarterback? Oh.
Depends. Do you want to win the big game, or do you want it to be your fault when we lose?
Dun, dun,
I'm
dun.
like, I may have to hit an adult with a baseball bat tomorrow. So I want to get some practice in and make my force 5, just to make sure I got a 10 to hit this dude.
Dang. Yeah, I think I'm gonna up my tinker based off the fact that we're gonna be doing some mechanical stuff. She's learning
Okay.
things, and that's kind of where I want to start
Attracts,
pushing
yeah.
her. Yeah.
Okay. Any last words? Anything you guys want to talk about or say?
I need to figure out what my relationship is to Mike because I don't know. So, just I don't have any
complicated.
ideas
It's
immediately, but
complicated.
yeah, it's complicated. Something. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm keeping mine as what it is, at least for the remainder of this mystery. And if he continues to be chill, then maybe I'll stop hating him.
I'm chill for like 80% of it, but then you just set up some nerd things and it's like, oh, I have to.
Mm.
I try not to. I need to change my problem because I don't know what I could be trying to hide that Mel knows.
You guys should talk about it.
And then once this mystery's over, I'm going to change to the job.
Yeah, we talked about that too.
Oh, that's why so
Might
much
have-
sport.
We might have a jock incoming.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh
well,
boy.
I need to change my iconic item from chewing gum because you're like, why is he bringing out some chili?
Birdseed chili.
It's
an
just a-
Australian delicacy.
Oh no.
Backpack of food.
Well, if you're going
Alright.
chalk, then maybe it's just Gatorade now.
All
Wow,
right.
so-
Yeah, I think we have some fun stuff incoming. But yeah, we're on the verge of solving this mystery. I use the word solving very lightly, because it all depends on what you guys do and whether you successfully solve it. But we'll see. So we'll be back in 2 weeks. It's going to be on May the 14th. At 8 p.m. Eastern Time to probably see the end of this mystery and the beginning of another. So we will see you then. In the meantime, we have a lot of fun stuff coming up on the channel. On Saturday, we have a new episode of Saturday Night's Thunderball. Where we play D&D, but it's sports and it's very exciting. On Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, we have we're moving into the sort of last leg of our Pursuit of the Black Kestrel adventure, in which we're hunting down a pirate ship and treasure, and also maybe all killing each other at the end. We're not entirely sure. Maybe it'll be fine. It'll probably be fine. Tune in at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday to find out. And then on Tuesday, a new episode of Eos, the new D&D campaign that we have that Barry is running for us. There's zombies, there's heists, there's intrigue, there's romance, and all
Or
kinds
maybe
of
the
other...
bad guys.
We might be the bad guys, we're not entirely sure. But if you want to find out, Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, be here. And then on Thursday, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we are going to be streaming our Session 0, the premiere of our brand new game that we're running on the channel. It's called Elegant Suffering. It is a good society, Jane Austen themed RPG that our good friend Sid at the Greek Sid is running. There's going to be romance, there's going to be comedy, there's going to be farce, there's going to be all kinds of fun stuff. So if you like that kind of thing, tune in next Thursday for that at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And that's our week coming up. Anything else you guys want to say before we go away? All right. Well, we will see you on Saturday, if not before. And until then, good game and good night, Internet.
Night, internet.
Good night, internet.